Hi, this is Bobby C. Welcome to my channel. If you watched my videos before, we have a Sprinter. We have a Class C 2017 Jayco Melbourne, and we are in Tampa again on our southern trip. We are staying at Lazydays. Love it here. And we just went to the Tampa RV show, which is the biggest in the United States. Really nice show, a lot to see, overwhelming really. So as you go to that show, let me tell you, you start to think about some of the things that you saw. We saw some pretty good deals. And we looked at one that we liked, a little too big, but there were a lot of great deals at the show. So as you do that, you start to think about, is it time to think about trading in the Sprinter? So wait for this person here. So that's something that we've talked about. Some of you may be in that same situation, so I just wanted to sort of give you a thought process to go through if you're thinking it might be time. So Karen and I and Izzy, our pup, will have to make that decision jointly. So stick around. We'll go over some of the things that are considerations to think about, and talk about some of the different factors. Okay, stick with us. By the way, Lazydays does have a very nice RV accessory store right next to the sales center. Worth checking out. When we went to the Tampa RV show, I started to get a little 2-foot-itis. You know, that's one of the things that I was thinking, if we only had a couple feet more, we come down here, we stay for a couple months, might make it a little bit more comfortable. So, you know, Sprinters are nice, very easy to drive. We can tow with it. We have no issues with it. If you're well organized, it works pretty well for you. But it can feel a little tight after a while. And our model has one with a full wall slide, which really opens it up. So, you know, what do you like? What don't you like? This is our Melbourne. A couple of the changes that we make were upgrades, I guess, to improve how we like it, was we replaced the glass sliding shower door with a retractable shower door. Made it feel much more roomy and much easier for a bigger guy like me to take a shower. So that was one of the things. The other thing that we did was we replaced the foam in our dinette seats with a high density foam, and that made a huge difference in comfort. So, you know, you can do some things, but again, from a roominess standpoint, just a little bit more maybe is what I'd like. The Murphy beds, I know some people really like those. The layout and the floor plans are great because you do get a dinette and a reclined theater seats, or whatever you want there, a sofa. But the only problem is I've really seen quite a few comments about the comfort of the mattress. The mattress isn't very thick. Our mattress is okay. I can't imagine going with a thinner mattress. So again, things to think about as you're looking at what you like and what you don't like. One of the things that I really like about the Melbourne is the location of the gray and black tank valves. That is super, and it's important to me because I think my wife uses a lot of water. We do. We have a dog too, so we use a lot of water in our camping, and so that becomes very important. Some of the other units that have those more enclosed, the advantage, of course, is in the insulation in colder climates, but some of them are the location. You know, it might be under a slide, very difficult to get to. That's not going to work for us. So again, some things that we think about. One of the things I really don't like about my Melbourne, it's a 2017, is I do not have automatic levelers, and leveling is just a pain. It's really not that difficult, but it's just a pain. Should we go a little bigger? Should we look at something else that gives us a little bit more room? What don't I like? I'd really like to have, aside from a dinette, I'd like to have some theater seats. You know, something, a sofa even, something like that. So that's probably the main concern. A little bit more room, maybe a little bit more storage, a little bit better insulated for traveling from Pennsylvania south on our way down. You know, those are probably some of the main things that we like and what we don't like. So that's number one. This is Izzy. Izzy really likes the RV. She likes the Sprinter. Would she like a bigger one? I don't know. What do you think, Izzy? Maybe something different. So number two, what I would think about is, what do you use it for? So what we use it for is primarily coming down here, spending 2 months, maybe even 3, and so that's one of the purposes. The other purpose would be traveling to some state parks and places like Geneva on the Lake, which is a bit north of us. So, and that's probably the second main reason. That's our usage. So depending on whether you want to make a move or not, you have to think about, again, what type of use are you going to give to the Sprinter. If it was longer stays, you know, of course not quite full timing, but maybe longer stays at different places, you might want to think about something bigger. That's sort of why I'm starting to think about it a little bit. But if it's less than that, you know, is it worth making a move? So tip number 3, you have to take a look at what are the alternatives to what you have. Again, with our Sprinter, nice size. I want to park it in my driveway, so really I'm fairly limited myself on some of the alternatives. Some of you that might have more room, you might be looking at some different units. Just for example, at the RV show in Tampa, we saw a really beautiful Class A. It was a Holiday Rambler. It had 2 full bathrooms, and it was but it was too big for our driveway, so that wouldn't work. Possibly something like that would work for you. That was a fantastic deal. If you run into something like that and you have the room, it might be something to consider. For me, I'm probably looking for something under 31 feet. That's probably my limit. So, and you know, a Class A, small Class A would probably fit that bill. But again, there's a lot of different alternatives. You know, I don't have a truck. If I had a truck, I could be thinking about a 5th wheel, you know, a trailer or something like that. So again, it just depends on what's available to you in terms of the alternatives. So number 4, when is the right time? Well, first of all, the right time is when it's the right time for you, when you feel as if you need to something bigger, your use of it has changed, things of that nature. Something has caused you to really take a hard look at this. So first of all, your personal circumstances are something that should be considered. Secondly, when is the right time to buy? Well, right time to buy is often good during a show. You can get some pretty good deals. I did find, as I was exploring some things myself here, that it's actually a pretty good time to sell the Sprinter right now. You're getting a pretty good market price for it. I was going to quote it on a trade that I could get basically what I paid for it. Now, of course, the other part of that is a newer RV is going to be more money, and a big consideration for me is I don't know if I want to buy a 2020 or a 2021 model with the issues of the pandemic and labor shortages and parts issues and just a ton of things. My preference would be really to find probably a pre-pandemic model. I had been looking at a 2019 model of a Winnebago Adventure, which was really nice, but I missed it. You know, so on some of those you have to be ready to make a move. We weren't ready, so that's part of number 4. But I would say if you're considering it, it might be a good time to explore the market. It's January 2022 in Florida. There's a General RV will be having a show coming up in February at their Ocala location. Might be something to take a look at. I think I will. But look for the shows, and maybe you can pick up a 2021 even, and that's left over, and could get a little discount on it. So things to think about. Okay, number 5, and the last part of it, the tip that I would offer you is, if you're single, if it's for you, if it meets the needs, floats the boat, go for it. Money's always a concern, but money. If you can afford it, go for it. If not, it's probably not the right time. If you are with someone, you're in a relationship or you're married, and the two of you are involved in a decision, you got to make the decision together. So, for example, some of the things that I liked, my wife doesn't like, but there are things that we agree on, and we're really looking for the wow factor to make a move, because, to be honest, in our situation, the Sprinter really, for the most part, meets our needs. You just get an itch, and is it time to scratch it? So anyhow, those are 5 tips. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see, please give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you out camping sometime.